Now, it's been a rough month for Brendan Clarke-Smith MP, for Bassett Law specifically, as, first of all, he's had to continually be wheeled out to try and defend the indefensible that is Boris Johnson ever since the findings of the Privileges Committee hearing and the result of the vote in the Commons to expel him from the parliamentary estate forever, until he becomes an MP, of course, if he ever does again. I haven't been suspended for 90 days. And then, over the weekend, he embarrassed himself in front of the nation by being spoon-fed baked beans by Lee Anderson MP for Ashfield on GB News.
There's a spoon incoming.
Lovely.
Open your mouth.
Okay.
Here comes a train.
It was truly, truly cringeworthy, incredibly embarrassing. So Brendan Clarke-Smith's not been having the best time of it. And to prelude this latest story with regards to Brendan Clarke-Smith, I don't know who here on my stream or future YouTube viewers when I upload this segment later are aware of the TikTok and media personality Supertanskiii, right? Now, she's like a liberal Labour stan, anti-Tory person, whatever it might be, who makes TikToks and uploads things to YouTube, etc., etc. Very famous for saying dystopia warning and for getting angry at leftoids on Twitter. And she went to Glastonbury over the weekend. That's what happened over this weekend. And she had this to say about this on Twitter. On a personal level, I'd like to say a huge thank you to the lovely man volunteering for Samaritans near the pyramid stage. He noticed that I paused near their truck and asked if she was okay. She wasn't, and it meant the world to her. The chat made such a difference. I love Glasgow, but it's a battle of endurance, especially for those with severe ADHD symptoms, but no hope of help due to the Tories decimating the NHS. He was very kind, talking for a few moments and letting it out to give me the energy to carry on. They're overwhelmed due to NHS cuts. Please support them if you can. I didn't catch his name, but I had a little cry on the walk back out of gratitude that people can be so wonderful. So, just a tweet thread, right? Regardless of what you think about Supertanskiii, there's a nice tweet thread saying, isn't it great that this charity does good work? And isn't it bad that the NHS cuts have meant that we have to rely on charities rather than what the state should be doing as its main mandate is looking after mental health as a healthcare provider? You know, fine, very, very, not a particularly contentious thing for somebody to say. However, Mr. Brendan Clarke-Smith of Bassett Law parliamentary constituency fame doesn't seem to think so, right? He immediately responded with, let's have a look here. Vile internet troll in personal issues shock. Cares little for the welfare of others, wherever when spouting her foul-mouthed bile on Twitter. Excuse me for playing the world's smallest violin. And I think, right, okay, just so we can contextualise this a little bit. This is a guy who our taxpayers' money pays £80,000 a year. And he's busy beefing with TikTok influencers on Twitter, right? And completely unprompted as well. Completely unprompted. In response to somebody just talking about their mental health and wanting to get people to donate to a charity, he has completely out of the blue and completely unprompted just randomly tweeted out an attack on somebody with a kind of genuine tweet about having a mental health crisis at Glastonbury. And it just kind of, I've always said on this channel, that there's just a real issue with conservatives in this country, that they just kind of have peak Twitter brain, right? They seem to have all just kind of only just discovered Twitter in like the last 3 years since the start of the pandemic. That Twitter exists and that they can use this to engage with normal members of the public. And of course, as people in the position of being a member of parliament, they have kind of these delusions of grandeur that they are smarter and more erudite and more qualified than everybody else is. And so they get sucked into engaging a lot of the time, given that previously a lot of these people would have a privileged position where they weren't as scrutinised directly by members of the public. Since Twitter has become the way which we kind of generally engage with our elected member representatives directly, because they never answer your fucking emails, do they? But they do answer your tweets. They do directly answer your tweets. They have just lost their minds. They've just completely lost the plot for this kind of stuff. And it just kind of shows how much social media is affecting politics, that a random TikTok influencer can get into a singular MP's head so much that with completely unprompted, they can be called a vile internet troll in response to them saying, I have mental health issues. Which is, it's insane. It's absolutely insane that that this is the point that we're at, quite frankly. Because he's not stopped, right? He's not stopped, right? So Supertanskiii posted in the replies, here we have a Tory MP mocking a person with poor mental health. It's not trolling to call a C word, Brendan. I built my anti-Tory platforms after my friend took his own life due to Tory COVID negligence and NHS cuts. You're the reason people want to Minecraft Tories. And says, why not try deleting your Twitter account? You'll be a lot less angry and feel a lot better about yourself. I mean, pot, kettle, like, I can't believe, of all the things he could say here, he's saying, you should delete your Twitter account because you're getting angry. And I'm like, yeah, you're the one who, just out of the blue, completely unprompted, decided to start attacking someone for having mental health problems. And again, I'm not a massive fan of Supertanskiii. She's blocked me on Twitter, so I've blocked her back, whatever it might be. Her political opinions I disagree with. She said some really cringe stuff on Twitter as well. And she is one of the she's very pro-Starmer, although she kind of walked back on this kind of stuff when he said he wouldn't be repealing a bunch of the draconian police measures recently. But it does show, this is yet more evidence of the Liberals getting exactly what they wanted. Regardless of what you think about her, mental health is obviously a really big problem at the moment. And to be attacked for that, who, regardless of who you are, is disgusting from an MP who clearly should know better than that kind of thing. And he's the one having essentially be so Twitter-brained that, because where would he have found this? Did someone retweet it onto his timeline? Does he just randomly trawl through tweets of people he disagrees with to find reasons to attack them unprompted? None of this makes any sense. None of this makes any sense. They would have the contact to get to this tweet to then want to go ahead and make this attack in the first place. So it just shows how brain broken a lot of these people are, that he must have literally gone and searched out this tweet to try and find it and mock it. So a TikTok influencer, like an elected member of parliament, is beefing with a TikTok influencer. I cannot stress enough, this is exactly what we're seeing. Do not refresh your screens. We are living in the end times, clearly. Now, in response to this, what was it that she said on her Twitter account? Let me find the tweet that it was. I think she said that she was going to sick her legions of fans on him, the centrist dad's army, as they've been known. Let me find the tweet. I've seen a lot of ableist comments regarding the fact that I attended Glastonbury as a speaker. No, that's not the thread I wanted. I'll have to do loads of editing for this segment. This is the thread that I'm looking for. This might be the one. No, that's the ableist comments thread again. God, I hate doing editing. Why do I do this to myself? Yeah, she got invited as a speaker, apparently. That's how much. That's what you can do by getting big on TikTok. Clearly, that's my plan. Where's my speaker's invite, Glastonbury? What I will say, though, is that even after all of this as well, is that he's continuing going on all of this, right? He's not even bothered backing down after multiple different news outlets have covered it. I think I already mentioned before that the Mirror did a whole article on it. Huffington Post, The National have all talked about this stuff. And it's so the best evidence that we have now that, in fact, Brendan is completely Twitter-brained is that he must follow her incredibly intently, because he's now ragging on her for the same reason that leftoids are ragging on her about the fact that she said that Israel did 9/11 on Twitter. And she got absolutely roasted for it because it makes no sense. Why would Israel do 9/11? complete nonsense, whatever it might be, right? But it's clear that you have to be like knee deep in the Twitter lore to like get this kind of stuff. And the fact that this guy is an MP who gets paid to serve his constituency, he gets paid to engage in select committees to be able to be part of the active governance, is so knee deep in Twitter discourse. He knows that there's this anti-Tory TikTok influencer, finds one of their tweets, publicly mocks them for having a mental health problem, and then also knows this person well enough that they made a really silly comment about Israel at 9/11. I have no idea what's going on. What the fuck is going on in this country? We are the most normal of normal islands, really and truly. Nothing is more normal than the United Kingdom. We truly have an absolute monopoly on normality. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider liking and subscribing. It does help out the channel and the algorithm. And if you click the bell notification icon, it will let you know when I go live and when I upload videos. If you'd like to follow me on social media, my handle is @NoJusticeMTG, and that is Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. If you want to support my channel in a more financial manner, you can do so by becoming a member for just 99p, by super chatting, or by supporting me on Patreon, with the link is in the description of this video, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next segment.